Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to the Map of the Year 2020 episode 3 with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. So what have I got for you today? Well, after the classic vanilla maps of Monday and the magical island maps of yesterday, today we've got a more subdued affair, a couple of what I'm going to call desert maps, although there will be many an argument over the second map not being a desert map. I would say it does have a real dry vibe to it. It actually uses the same theme as today's first map, so I'm going to put it into the same category. They are on the drier end of the scale. Now, today's first map, the runner-up today, only has 222 subscribers on the workshop, and I think there's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, it's a desert map, and not everybody wants to play a desert map, so fair enough, that's a perfectly reasonable reason not to subscribe to a map. The other one is it has a somewhat quirky name, which makes you think you're going to get some kind of novelty map. This is not a novelty map, this is a realistic desert map. This is what it is. And if you're playing a modded game, you've got the potential for building a huge city on this one, probably more so than on today's second map. So, today's map is nothing but Cowboys and Coyotes out here, folks. Summit City and La Cima, Arca, by Arstarks 1125. Yeah, I think probably a catchier name than that. Might have got a few more subscribers off of the workshop, but hopefully this second outing on the channel will get this seen by a few people, and anybody who's looking for that desert map that's gonna give you a big city build. Now, I say this because a little bit on the side, because you are going to need to play a modded game. There's only a little hint of water in the start square, but it is a map that has 40 workshop requirements, which is quite a few, possibly a few more than I feel that the map really needs. So there might have been a possibility of just cutting back on that. It doesn't harm the map in any way, but when you've got a lot of subscription requirements, it is going to put a few people off, especially those with like a weaker computer. So there is that. I have no issues with this at all, having obviously I'm lucky enough to have a slightly more powerful computer. But yes, so we've come in from the hills. We've followed the highway a little bit. I'm showing you a little bit of, well, the little bit of water that we have on the map, which kind of goes down the side of the map. We have a bit of a lake to start, and then we have this windy, dusty river going on as well, which aesthetically is very nice indeed. And this is going to lead us down into the main buildable plateau, which when we get there, you will agree that this is a decent sized buildable plateau. And it pushes up into the hills, so you can actually build up from the plateau into the hills. In terms of my ratings, when I rated this map back in episode 883, it seems like an age ago now, I gave this map 5 full stars for aesthetics, 4 for detail, and 4 for gameplay potential. And pretty much that 4 rather than 5, I think, was just because of the requirements listings and, of course, the access to water in the start square. It's still a very nice. It's not going to make the final 12 maps of the year for me if this is not an exceptional map, and I would recommend it to anybody who's playing a modded game who wants to build a big desert city. This is definitely my first choice from the year if you're wanting to do that recreation of a Las Vegas style city. Very nice. Very nice. So we pull back here. You're getting a much better feel for this now, aren't you? I thought we'd come in the scenic route. This area, less scenic, more city, and it's glorious. The mountains are amazing, and I think Arstarks has really shone with this map. It sold me the moment that I got past the name. Very nice. Didn't know it was going to be on my final 12th map of the year, but it was definitely worth making a note of. And I think it's definitely credible for that position. So there we go. Nothing but Cowboys and Coyotes out here, folks. Summit City and La Cima Arca by Arstarks 1125. Our runner-up today. Now, today's winning map, you won't be doing a big city build on this one. This is going to be more strategic small town builds. And I know there's a lot of you out there that like that kind of build, that kind of map. The thing with the second map that's going to put a few of you off, and fair enough, absolutely, it doesn't put me off, which is why it is my finalist, one of my top 6 maps of the year, is there's no highways. It's all national roads, and I can just see a few of you clicking away from the video now. I'll give it a chance, won't you? Just give it a chance. It's a well-designed map. I think rather than actually having a problem with it having no highways, the problem with this map is it is kind of split. When I say it's kind of split, it's split. Today's second map and finalist is 2 valleys by a random 5. Again, as you can see, it's not strictly a desert map, but you've got the really dry hills going on, and so I call it the same category. I feel it falls more than any other map in my final shortlist of 12. This one would go alongside that very first map from our Starks. So what has Random 5 done here? Well, they've given us a mountain ridge going down the middle of the map, and then they've given us just 2 valleys to build into, both with a river. So you've got double the river opportunities. Very nice indeed. We've also got, I do believe this is based on a real life location, because we have a classic hill climb. This is all from memory. I haven't gone back and done all of my research. I regret to say I'm saying from a lot of this from memory, because these are very memorable maps for me. Even though this one was reviewed back in What's Map 833, which is a very long time ago. Now, that classic hill climb racetrack, for want of a better phrase, might have actually inspired my race day video from this year, indirectly, because it was long before lockdown and long before I thought, what am I going to do with all my time off? And ended up making that cinematic feature within the field of Cities Skylines. What we have here, there's your start. There's your start with your grid, your pits and stuff, and your milling area and all that sort of stuff. And then we have a road that does a number of switchbacks up into the hills, and we're going to follow this up until we find the finishing line. But yes, I'm not saying that this map inspired race day. It might have just indirectly in the back of my head put a little idea that a few months later, once we were going into a spin and a slide, maybe it was something like this map that made me think, do you know what, I'd like to do that. Although I've been wanting to do a race day style video for quite some time, possibly it was the inspiration, maybe, possibly. So yes, we'll follow this road up into the hills. You can see it gets really dry up here in the hills, which is again why we're in the desert category here. The map does use, as I said earlier, same theme, the Owls Los Angeles theme. We're using the Relight Vintage LUTs, which is giving us a really lovely oldie world, kind of 1970s old film, oldie world, 1970s, goodness me, I'm making myself sound really old here. And no DLC required for this map either, and only 5 subscriptions. So if you're playing on a softer computer, then this one is definitely probably going to run better, although there are a lot of trees. So there's always that to consider. Climbing up, love the rock detailing alongside this road, which links the 2 sides of the mountains, and it does it so beautifully. Again, thank you very much, Real Life, for inspiration, which is basically what we're getting here. We get to this point, we are to the top of the hills, and this is where the finishing line for that hill climb race circuit is. And you can see we have a nicely, not overly detailed, basically vanilla detailed as well, finishing straight. And look at the truck whiz past there. Did not know that was going to happen. Thank you very much, Mr. Truck, for zooming past that breakneck speed. Well, if trucks can do it, I'm sure race cars can do it as well. We're going to go down the other side of the valley now and have a little look down that way. Now, this map, in terms of total number of subscriptions, we've got just over 1,000. That's very credible. 1,069 subscribers for this 2 valleys map. And I think it's well deserved. Now, yes, we are talking about national roads, so you can upgrade them, although I think you're going to have to do an awful lot of work in upgrading them, in working the terraform, and it's not going to be a simple upgrade, but it's a sort of map that if you are completely invested into it, wanting to really produce something magnificent in terms of a city with highways and such, maybe this is the sort of map where you go, yeah, do you know what? I don't mind spending the time working the terrain, getting those highways down and making it, just bringing it up to what I particularly want. Personally, I would be doing this as a smattering of small towns, forestry areas, that kind of thing. It certainly just sells itself towards that. Coming down into our main focus of the area here, the old roundabout there, lovely roundabout, and then of course we've got everybody's favourite factory, and nice little bit of detailing there as well, just to bring the factory to a little bit of life. And of course we've got the drain coming down from the factory, which we've flown by. I should have really shown that one, but of course this was covered fully in the review, episode 833. When I reviewed this map, I gave it 4 stars for aesthetics, 5 for detail, and 5 for gameplay potential, because I do feel it has so much potential, as long as you're not wanting to do the mega city, but it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't sell itself for that. That's not its main purpose. Lots of forests going on here, and then the thing to know about Random 5 is they have a sense of humour, and they know how to tickle BonBonB. Bless them. Please don't do it in public, thank you. And they've added a little bit of extra detail to the map. I don't even think we covered this one in the review. I don't know if it's whether I chose to ignore it, or whether it was one of those things that I might have missed first time. Maybe it's been added. I haven't checked the updates on this particular map. But yeah, there's a bit of extra detailing that we're going to head up into the hills and have a little look at. Again, with the yesterday's winning map, the island winning map yesterday, where there were a few features that you might want to take your bulldozer to. Not many, just 3 of them. There's a couple of features up here which would be deep in the fog, and so you wouldn't be able to see them anyway once you've got the fog switched on. But these are things that you'll probably want to get the bulldozer to. It is a novelty edition, which I'm pretty sure was literally just added here for me. And so, yes, we're not marking the map down for this one. We're completely ignoring them. But I do feel that I probably should show them to you. You probably may have guessed in advance what's likely to appear in the top right-hand corner of your screen now. Oh, you card. Random 5, you absolute card. Yes, we're ready for the next Noah's flood with our jetty in place. Ah, the essential lighthouse, isn't she beautiful? And the lighthouse keeper's cottage as well, along with one of the much loved props from the Park Life DLC. The free update came with the Park Life DLC, so you don't even need the Park Life DLC for that. So yes, if we pull back, you'll see that the central ridge going down there. I'm loving the texturing in the hills as well. It's been really well done. Very nicely designed map. But if you're wanting to do not a mega city, but a number of small towns alongside the rivers with that hill ridge in the middle. Very nice indeed. Good work, Random 5. 2 Valleys by Random 5. Today's finalist and one of my top 6 maps of 2020. All cred to you, dude. All cred to you. And that takes us to the end of today's show. We've got halfway already through the Map of the Year series. 6 more maps to come, including our Map of the Year on Saturday. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of these updates. I promise you, they are all exceptional maps. Thanks for watching. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome, and I'll see you very, very soon.